Okay, so you have created a beautiful presentation with Canva. You've followed all the steps, you've avoided all the design mistakes we talked about, and your slides look gorgeous. So, where do we go from here? Do you download your slides and insert them into so I can't say that word. How do you bring this piece of art into the world? How do you deliver your slides to your audience? In this lecture, we are going to look at all the different ways you can use Canva to present your slides to your audience. Okay, so for this, I'm going to come back to the Fairtrade Connection pitch deck I designed a little bit earlier in this section. When you use a presentation doc type, like this one for the pitch deck, you will see this button right here that says Present. So let's go ahead and click on that, as this is where we will find all our presenting options. The first thing I notice is that I do have a few options. I have Standard, which will allow me to navigate my slides at my own pace. This is what I would recommend you use. Next, there is Autoplay. That will play my slides automatically, and Canva will let you decide how long you wish to display each individual slide in your presentation. Now, that could be quite useful if you have a very strict amount of time to present your information, or if you have memorized your speech, for example. Next, we have Present to View, which I will cover into detail in just a few seconds. This mode will send you to a new space from which you'll have access to some handy features like the presenter notes. And finally, you'll have the option to present and record your presentation. This will let you talk over your presentation and record that as a video. I have an entire lecture about this specific feature, and it's coming right after this one. Okay, so these are your 4 presenting options. Let's try them all one by one. First, let's go for Standard. When I choose that option and then click on the purple Present button, the first slide of my presentation will be displayed full screen. I can see that my mouse cursor now has this turquoise Canva color highlight around it, so I can use that as a pointer on my slide. I can navigate my slides either by clicking on the left side of the slide to go back one slide, or by clicking on the right side of the slide to go to the next slide. You can also use your keyboard arrows to navigate the slides. If you hover your mouse over the lower part of the screen, you will see a menu showing up. From here, you can do the following actions. You can hit the play button to auto-play your presentation at the speed you have decided. Remember, the duration you can enter for each slide. You can use the previous and next arrows to navigate your slides, and you can also see on which slide you're on. Then, on the other side of that menu, you'll have a button for Canva Live, which allows you to crowdsource questions from your audience. When you click on that, Canva will invite you to start a new session. And when you do, it will generate a 6-digit code for you to share with your audience. And now, anybody that goes to canva.live, which is a website, can enter that code and ask a question. The presenter should then see the questions popping up right here on the right side. All right, so that sounds really cool. Let me show you how that works by using my phone. I'll just use my browser on my phone to connect to canva.live. Good. Now, I need to enter the 6-digit code, and I'm in. From here, I can decide to display my name or remain anonymous. I'll just write Diana for the example. Now I'll type in my question for the presenter. You can see that the question pops up in my window right here. And at this point, only the presenter can see it. The audience doesn't see it yet. If I want the audience to see Diana's question, I can click on the 3 little dots next to her question and click on Display Bigger. That will show the question on screen, so now the audience can see it. And this is great for Q&A, guys. And once I'm done answering the question, I can simply make it go away by using the X button. Meanwhile, on the other side, Diana can send the presenter a reaction for taking the time to answer her question live during the webinar, for example. She will be able to do that by tapping on the little heart icon next to the question field in Canva Live. Let's go ahead and try these emojis. See, they show up on screen for everybody to see. So that's how Canva Live works. I think this is a great little add-on for Q&As and for engaging your audience live. This can work for physical events as well as online ones. Thank you, Canva, for thinking about this. This is a great feature. Let's end this Canva Live session for now by clicking on the End button and continue exploring our presentation menu here at the bottom of our screen. The next button that I see says Open Presenter View. So let's click on that. When you do click on that button, Canva will do two things. One, it will redirect you to a new interface or new space called the Presenter window. That's a screen for you to present and access your presenter notes. And the second thing Canva does is that it will open another window called the Audience window, which is what your audience will see. So that's what you are supposed to share via Zoom if you're running a webinar, or what you will project on your TV or your screen if you're presenting in a room. So make sure to find these two windows and understand what each of them are. Ideally, you have a second screen where you will have your audience window, and you should keep your presenter window on your main screen where your webcam is, so that you can read your notes while still looking at the camera. Now, if you present in front of a room, the presenter window is what you will have on your laptop in front of you. Okay, I think you get the point. Let's see what this presenter view has to offer. The first thing you'll notice in presenter view is that the screen will be split between your current slide, that's the biggest slide you'll see here, and your next and previous slides here at the bottom, kind of like thumbnails. The current slide will have this blue frame around it. So you can now navigate your slides by clicking on these thumbnails at the bottom. And I love that you can also use the little arrows to search for a slide and click on it to display it. No more scrolling through all your slides in front of your audience. And here on the right side, you have your notes. So this part of the screen is only for the presenter. The audience will not see these notes. Also, know that you can click on that separating line between your notes and the slides and drag it to make that note area wider. Now, this is the widest you can get, which is already pretty wide. So that's quite useful if you have a lot of notes. And you can edit these notes from here as well. Simply start typing. On top of your slides, you will see a clock with your local time, a timer that you can pause and reset, and a button with your magic shortcuts, which I'll cover in a second. So that's about it for the presenter view. I highly recommend you get familiar with this space for presenting. I've personally delivered dozens of webinars and in-person presentations and used this window, and it's really practical. Let's exit presenter view by using the X button. I want to show you where you can add your notes from the editor so that you can do so while designing your slides. For that, you have to look for the button that says Notes here underneath your slide thumbnail view. When you click on that button, you will open your note area here on the left side of your screen, where you can type in some notes, or you can copy-paste some notes. And these will show in the presenter view. So no need to save anything. When you're done typing or pasting, simply click elsewhere. You can add notes like this for any slide you want, and that's pretty convenient. Let's click back on the Present button and finish exploring the buttons there. I believe we have one more to go. Yes, this one right here that says Magic Shortcuts. When you click on that, Canva will show you a list of magic shortcuts. These are preset animations that you can trigger while presenting your slides by using your keyboard. So for example, the numbers from 1 to 9 on your keyboard will start a timer. 1 will start a 1-minute timer, 5 will start a 5-minute timer, etc. Now here are the other magic shortcuts. B will blur your slide. Q will prompt your audience to be quiet. O will bring up bubbles. C will make confettis rain. D will start a drum roll. U will open up and close down a curtain for a big reveal, and M will drop the mic. So these are pretty fun to use to create some sort of tension or impact on your audience. And I think I have covered it all. I hope you start to see the potential of using Canva to deliver your presentations. And in the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to create a talking presentation.